Hello there. And it's been too long. It's been too long. What's wrong with me? I wrote a condensed version of my normal intro thinking I'll just do it normally. Is that again?
Just carry on.
Ahoy sailors, and welcome back to the NXT Back to the Future podcast, episode 54. My name is David Simmons, and I am joined as ever by a man who has had more cars than Sparkplug Bog. I fucked it up.
You fucked this up.
Fuck my own intro up.
You fucked it up. Do you want to try this again?
I'll try again. No, man. Ahoy sailors, and welcome back to the NXT Back to the Future podcast, episode 54. My name is David Simmons, and I am joined as ever by a man who has had more cars than Sparkplug Bob Holly, JBL, Eddie Guerrero, Alberto Del Rio, and even the monster truck match between Hulk Hogan and the Giant from WCW. It's Mr. Adam Howells.
My next one will be my 7th in less than 10 years. So I don't think it's that bad.
You've got issues.
I just buy shit cars, mate.
You do.
This one's not my fault.
No.
I'll tell you what, followers of the podcast will know from the last time I bought a car, because that's how long this podcast has been going, because this happened in fucking, what was it, June? May is when I bought the A3, replaced it because the A4 was a bag of shit. This one had been in a crash, apparently. An unregistered crash where one corner had completely different bolts than the other 3 corners. That was lovely.
It's all good stuff.
How are we, Wilhelm Kettle?
I'm okay.
Do you see what I'm doing here?
No.
I've renamed you after a Nazi general.
Ah. Fair.
Just a thing. I have to mention it because me and Dave talked about it this week, and you didn't want to say anything, but I am so fucking upset that they've done it this week. Walter's been out in America for 1 week.
No,
1 week.
I kind of just feel like,
and they've fucked him over already.
No, I just think
it's not like he's new to the company.
No, but it's one of those
people
things
have seen him. He was at Survivor Series. He was the United Kingdom champion for 870 days.
No, but the thing is, when you come to do stuff like that, and if you want to bring him to the States, it's slightly different than having him come and then letting him go back. And I think they just want to take your likeness, and if you want to give them your likeness, you have to change your name, and that's what he's done. But I think it was an innocent thing, and I don't think anybody knew. I just think
that's really poor. You'd think if you're going to change someone's name, you'd at least Google the name, see what it comes up with in a quick Google search. Because I imagine,
yeah, but that's
Gunther Stark is probably going to be a name that comes up in some sort of history book.
But that's a bit presumptuous. That's like saying, oh, well, we better change him to a German name, but Google it first, because you know what they're all like, bloody Nazis.
It's not. No.
It is.
It's not, but at the same time, I think you should probably do a search of the name. If you were going to change your name, you'd at least do a Google search of what comes up with when you search that name.
Having Googled my name, it turns out there's a David Simmons who is a murderer in Derby. That's not far away from us. I could be misconstrued for this man. I think he's pretty the same age as me as well. This was a good few years ago. But the point still stands in that...
How tall is he? Is he an Arsenal fan?
Is he bold?
Is he bold? It's all these things.
But the issue
we'll find out next week.
The issue is, I'll be taken away in handcuffs in the next episode.
We'll do a profile of David Simmons, the murderer, next week.
But the problem is like, I don't know. It's a bit silly, but it's not the end of the world. Might just be me, but I think like everyone's overreacting. Calling someone a stupid name and then going, oh, well, they haven't called him Gunther Stark either. They've just called him Gunther, haven't they? Which is fine.
I think they were gonna. I think they trademarked the name Gunther Stark.
Maybe.
But then probably realised they only used the name Gunther.
This is WWE, though, isn't it? They do all sorts of stupid things.
I can't remember his name before he changed his name. Nathan Fraser.
Oh,
so it's
yeah,
you know what I'm on about.
I
can't remember what his name was beforehand, but he came to WWE. He had like 3 weeks, had some really good matches because he just signed, and he was like, "I'm going to change my name. I'm going to do this and this," and that is sort of fine for someone who, even though he's known in the hardcore wrestling community.
Well, he wasn't really. He went to AEW. He had a good match in AEW Dark, and then WWE jumped all over him, and he wanted to go to WWE.
Yeah. So like having done that, that's fine. But when you've got someone like Walter who's had a body of work through WXW and doing all of his WWE stuff, and he's travelled the world with this company already. Like he's been flitting from America to back to the UK. He's a household name already.
But what you fail to realise is, Adam,
this is WWE, and they don't give a fuck about any of that.
What you fail to realise is that he used to go by the name Big Van Volta, just like Big Van Vader. So, at the same time, can't be ripping off Vader and then moaning because he changed his name. He changed his name to rip off Vader. So, all well and good.
It's just his moment of him appearing at the first Blackpool takeover.
Oh, it's classic. But the other thing is as well, it's been 45 seconds of it on TV. Like in a month, if they change his name to Gunter Stark, and then they're like, "Whoa, I'm a Nazi," then obviously that is slightly different. But this week, it's been 45 seconds on TV. It's not the same. I will wait and see.
I haven't seen the match, but apparently he had a wicked match with
it was
Roddy.
Brilliant. It was one of Dave's big dream matches, and it was excellent.
I'm not surprised.
Malcolm Bivens was involved, so of course it was great.
Malcolm Bivens involved in anything is just...
It is.
It is just excellent.
It is.
It's great TV.
And the Creed brothers are going to win.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, they are.
Nah, it's GYVs this year.
No, it's going to be the Creed brothers. Okay, it's going to be the Creed brothers, and then it's going to be Diamond Mine versus Imperium. They're going to have what month is it now? January. They'll keep it going all the way to War Games.
Oh, fuck off.
Yes!
You know how much...
Diamond Mine and Imperium War Games.
No, awesome. I mean, I can get all over...
That'd be better than any of the Undisputed Era ones.
I can get all over Imperium in War Games for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's just because they're European.
Really? Maybe it's because they're Nazis, mate. Nazis are good at war.
I mean, are we really treading that line?
Well, could be. Also, Progress are having their first show back with fans today.
Are they?
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that goes.
Are they having a title fight? Is it Dan Maloney versus...
I don't know what the main event is, actually. But I think it's going to be on the network.
Ooh.
Yeah. Gresham's going to be on the show. And
Gresham is there.
And I'm going to order... check me out, little sausage. And I'm going to order the GCW pay-per-view tonight and I'll watch it tomorrow.
Which one's GCW?
Game Changer Wrestling. The home of Nick Gage, of course.
Which one's MLW?
MLW.
Yeah.
MLW is Major League Wrestling.
Is that any good?
They're currently suing WWE, so they probably won't be in business much longer.
Oh, okay. The only thing
WWE will end them.
The only thing I know
Walter Stark
about MLW is that it has interview queen Alicia Atout.
Yeah, it does.
Only because when you set up my Twitter, you followed her. Right, and she's
really good. She used to she used to have she named a channel something really random. I can't remember what it was. She used to run Ambi, and then I think she went solely into wrestling.
She does a lot of photo shoots now.
Yeah, she was good. She does
a lot of photo shoots right now.
She does. She's also training to be a wrestler, I think.
I think she does a bit, yeah.
I think she's training to be a wrestler, but she's pretty good.
Fair play to her.
And yeah, she does a lot of good stuff. But I think it's one of those things at the moment with WWE. There's loads of companies doing stupid things. It's like this whole they've pretty much managed to retell the story of CM Punk leaving WWE, the WWE title in the UFC. However, it wasn't planned because Francis Ngannou is the UFC world champion, and he was like, "I want more money," and they said no, and they put him in a fight last night expecting him to lose, and then he won, and he was like, "I'm going to box Tyson Fury and make $30 million. Fuck this." And he's the UFC champion.
Well, he's just taking the title and running.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna fuck about here. But like last night, and this is what I mean about fucking UFC. Always get it easy compared to WWE. WWE are like the devil company.
Oh, we've talked about
Whereas
this earlier.
UFC last night, I think the highest paid person on the card was Ngannou, and it was like $500,000. Which I know $500,000 is a lot, but when everyone else is getting $10,000 and the pay-per-view's probably made $100 million. That's not okay. And, you know, you can't go doing stuff like that. But maybe it's me.
As a great man Ted DiBiase said, everyone has a price.
They do, absolutely.
Everyone has a choice. If they want to fight for $10,000, put their health at risk.
Yeah,
that's their choice.
Yeah, but it's still not the point. It'd be like WWE paying, I don't know. I mean, Zack Ryder was probably on at least $100,000 a year. And you know, people say, well, WWE, they don't look out. WWE look after their wrestlers way better than literally every company looks
any
after
injury
their
they get, they much
cover,
like,
they pay everyone
they rehab them. Any boob job that is needed,
precisely.
Charlotte has it. You know,
the amount of time Charlotte's had off for plastic surgery is ungodly, judging from what she looks like in this episode.
Oh, has she gone under again?
Well, she just looks way different to how she looks here. Speaking of which, we should probably start.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a... How was that lasted? 10 minutes of bollocks.
There you go.
Great start to a podcast. Let's go.
It's June the 19th, 2014, episode 103, Full Sail University.
It is time for our main event here tonight on NXT. And the NXT Championship is on the line.
They tore this house down at NXT TakeOver, and even just for the NXT fans here tonight, I mean, this is a match of all matches.
You're going to see who is a smarter competitor tonight because they both scouted their opponent and see what changes they can make to beat each other. There's that athleticism that Neville brings to the table. Cover here and a kick out at 2. Drop kick by Tyson Kidd. Is it enough to put away Neville? No. Tyson Kidd thinking something big here. Wow! That could be enough. New champion! Oh, wait a minute. He's waving it off. Foot on the rope. Now he just told the ref that Adrian had his foot on the rope. Tyson Kidd thought he had the championship in his grasp. What is going through the mind of Tyson Kidd at this point? What does he have to do to beat this guy? Oh, come on. No. Adrian Neville from out of nowhere. The Red Arrow. And Neville retains the championship.
It's just he had an awful week, and I just want to try to make it up to Tyson and just try to do something good for him. And I wanted to make a suggestion, so maybe, I don't know if you like this idea or not, but maybe he teams up with Sami Zayn and they form a tag team. At least it's something different, you know, fresh.
That would be a good team.
Yeah. I think they'd be amazing.
Thanks, Natty. Let me think about that, but I like the idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks so much, John.
We begin with a great, albeit very dramatic promo package, highlighting last week's title match, before Natalya tries to refocus her husband, requesting something rather different, like a team with Sami Zayn. I'm not sure that's going to accomplish much, but let's go for it.
Apparently not, but we'll go.
First for action, Sasha Banks is here with the BFFs. She poses with Charlotte, but she does blow off Summer. WWE legend Summer Rae, according to WWE on SmackDown. Fair play to them.
Is she a legend?
They refer to her as a legend, and now everyone's getting really mad.
Yeah, but they didn't refer to her as a Hall of Famer.
She's not in the Hall of Fame, that's why. She's a legend, though.
But she could be.
Mate, she got Fandango over, or was part of in the process of getting Fandango over, so she must be alright.
She must have done okay. When we watched this, or when we said we were going to record this and then we didn't, in that same week, Natalya got pinned in what WWE say is the quickest match in history.
Yes, and it's not officially the quickest match in history.
I imagine it's not.
It's not even in WWE history. I can't remember what it is, but it's definitely not this.
It's taken Aaliyah this long to get over. Bless her.
Well, it's taken Aaliyah this long to get put on the show. She never gets put on the show at all, does she?
But she's, at least she comes back every week and tries.
At least she's plugging away, exactly. That's how I feel. At least she's plugging away.
Come on, Aaliyah.
She'll be on this on this soon, not getting on the bloody show.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to say, what's really important here, Adam, is Alexa is out next. And don't let anyone tell you there's no hope for some people. Whenever people say there's no hope for the Aaliyahs of the world, don't listen to them, because Alexa is so lame here, and she went on to be one of the most decorated women's wrestlers of the decade. So don't let anyone tell you that people like Lash Legend are shit, or people like Aaliyah are shit. Because Alexa here is so shit, and yet she went on to have major success.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to judge anyone who's at the beginning of their career.
Oh no, you never would.
There's some good stuff from Sasha in this match, including a really nice surfboard, as Charlotte comedically shouts she's tapping at the ref, which I quite enjoyed. Outside, Summer and Charlotte jockey for position against the apron, which distracts teammate Sasha. Summer gets in the face of Charlotte as Bliss rolls up Sasha for a surprise 3. Outside, Summer and Charlotte shove each other, and Sasha joins in. The crowd chant for a triple threat, and I have to say it doesn't sound like the worst idea. Summer does, however, leave them both and pose at the top of the ramp on her own. Wrestling is left by the wayside for this story, but I do feel like these three especially are at least evolving in terms of a story, and it's going somewhere.
Yeah, it's a great little, like, you know, back and forth between the three of them, and you can tell it's all to do with trying to assert some dominance. I have fucked up my notes here, by the way. I've got Alexa versus Natalya, and that's why I mentioned the whole Natalya thing having the quickest pin.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a bit random.
Yeah,
I thought it was from the beginning.
No, she's in the next bit.
Oh, okay.
Well, she was in the beginning, and she's also in the next skip. I fucked up. I fucked up.
It happens, mate. It happens.
I fucked up.
What I will say, just regarding these women, is that actually, you are right. It is trying to assert some dominance, but not only that, it's trying to, I don't know, it's sort of proving that I think when you've got 3 females in a group, it's difficult to have an outstanding leader. They all sort of want to be in charge, don't they? Even Summer, Sasha's positioned as the sort of lower of the 3 here. The heat is between Charlotte and Summer, but Sasha's even trying to get involved. There just doesn't seem to be like a clear and obvious path here.
No, I feel like with like the 3 of them at the moment, like Charlotte's probably the best in ring ability, but she's the worst on the mic. And then like you've got Summer, who's the complete opposite. She's brilliant on the mic and she can sell anything, but her in ring ability isn't as good as the other 2. And Sasha's like a hybrid between. She's like midway.
Sasha's probably the best. Yeah,
she's the best because
I would say at this point, Charlotte has improved so much. She's probably better than Sasha.
I'm just talking purely on the mic. When I say like wrestling wise, she is like the best out of the 3.
Yeah. Backstage, Natalya asks Tyson if he's okay. He does say that he's fine, and she asks if he's excited for the tag title match later.
That's what
it's a bit condescending.
Are you excited for your loser match later?
I know you're not the world champion, but how does it feel tagging with Sami Zayn? Am I right? He does say that she cost him the NXT title last week. Kid argues with her about not needing her to get him opportunities. I mean, it's fair enough.
Yeah, it's well, it isn't. It isn't because she didn't do anything wrong.
Well,
she was playing by the rules.
Yeah, but you know, playing by the rules isn't, it isn't good.
It's like Eddie Guerrero, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Lie, cheat, and steal, mate.
Tensions are still high with the married couple before we get a Batista DVD advert. There's one to watch.
I love the acoustic version of like. I walk for miles inside this pit of danger. Guitar. Strumming softly. Strumming softly. Beautiful.
I walk alone. It's very, very good. I need that as like my ringtone. It'd be amazing.
I'm sure you'll end up having it at some point.
Oh, mate.
Simon, I'm so excited. I declare that we will take the WWE by storm.
Ah, yes, and the first step, the very first step we must take, NXT Tag Team titles.
Excellent. That sounds like a good idea.
Fantastic idea.
Excellent. Because we are the Vaudevillains and we're the best thing to ever be. To ever be.
Oh, yes, we do. It is what we do.
Stand up, my good man.
I'll stand up, you see, because we're the best thing ever.
Yes.
In both entertainment, sports, and sports entertainment.
All of it.
All of it. That's 3
Big
things.
sign that says
Big
that.
sign.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Right?
Oh, yes.
Well, that was very interesting, wasn't it? They look right up my street. We'll see a brand new tag team later on tonight.
The Vaudevillains have some incredible black and white graphics here. They're like an old school NWO. And the speech isn't directly mouthed, which I think actually quite adds to it. It's kind of like... I would
say it's old school NWO. I'd say it's like old-timey film.
Yes, I know, I was joking. The NWO had the black and white graphics. Catch up, mate.
Just shut up.
But it does work really, really well.
Yeah.
I really like how they sort of add this. They add this really nice, when they're talking, it's not, as I said, it's not mouthed 100% correctly, but it that adds to the sort of like old school feel. It's like a really old puppet show or something that you'd see.
Yeah.
And I think what they've done with the characters is really clever as well. They've got like the performer, but then they've got like Gotch is like the strongman that doesn't speak, and I think those two characters are really, really clever.
Yeah, I just like the fact that they are just like old timey sort of like, shall we go to the moving pictures sort of like thing they're doing. It's great.
It's really good.
It's
so different to anything that's on the show already, so it does automatically make them stand out.
They use words like Excelsior, which gets you over a long way.
Exactly. Clearly fans of Dutch football.
Exactly.
You know what? And you know what to say about Dutch birds? They're fit, they're filthy, and they let you wipe it on the curtains.
Quote from Jay from the In-Betweeners by any chance?
Of course.
Yeah.
However, Adam, caffeine at the ready, because here comes Mojo Rawley. He's down and he's shouting at those in attendance violently before jumping in the ring, and he's up against former Rosebud, Garrett Dillon. We've not seen Garrett Dillon in a while, have we?
No, we haven't. He does his running stick and ignores a high five of a small child.
I just love how excited he is. He's so excited he forgets to get fans for himself.
Garrett wasn't the guy who had barbecue sauce, was it? Am I thinking of someone else?
No, that's him, I think.
Is that him?
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Barbecue sauce and a truncheon?
Yes.
For like a torch or something?
Yeah, and then he was the guy in the full spandex suit in the Rosebuds who had the match against...
Oh, yeah.
Someone. What was his name? Captain Comic.
Oh, Camacho.
Yeah. But he was then Captain Comic, and now he's back as Garrett Dillon. Dillon is rough and ready, and it shows. He and Mojo beat the piss out of each other, and it's quite good fun. Dillon puts on a really good show, and his aggression is eye-opening. A submission by Dillon, but Mojo counters out and fires back again with right hands. Massive shoulder block by Mojo, and a couple of corner splashes, a hip attack, and the hyperdrive. The hyperdrive is a really poor finisher.
This is like probably the longest match he's had so far.
And it was quite good fun. But the problem is...
And he's had to sell in it, though.
Yeah.
He has had to sell in this match.
But he's not had to have a comeback, has he? He's been in control. He's never had to go, like, comeback, elbow, the crowd's clapping, elbow, hit the ropes, fire up, 5 moves to do. He doesn't do that. He kind of just hits 3 moves and wins. There's no coming back. He kind of just like, they punch. Oh. Punch, hip attack, shoulder block, hyperdrive, win. It's not like a comeback. It's not a fire up. It's not a hot tag. It's just...
Speaking of 5 moves of doom.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of 5 moves of doom, I was speaking to someone at work today, and he was telling me how I don't know how it came up in... No, we were talking about Joe Rogan.
Right.
Podcast, and I said, I read a list of guests that have been on that podcast. I said, Mark Calloway's been on there. And he said, do you mean Mark Calloway? I was like, The Undertaker. And yeah, like that wrestling stuff. And I just thought, keeping my mouth shut here.
Well
done. I remember he said, I took my kids to, because they were into it, I took my kids to see like a WWE show. He said, do you remember Rey Mysterio? And I reeled off probably far too many names that he knows I know like wrestling. But I just thought, I wonder what WrestleMania was on in 2007. So I Googled it, and it was like, I think it was 23.
Yes, probably.
So 5 moves of doom, it was the main event of Shawn Michaels and John Cena.
It was.
And you had the billionaire match as well.
Battle of the Billionaires.
Yeah, Battle of the Billionaires. I was going through the pay-per-view thinking, what the fuck is this?
Robert Lashley.
Yeah, Lashley versus Umaga, wasn't it?
Well, Umaga. But William Regal calls him
Umaga! Yeah.
Which is great. Umaga is part of the Anoa'i family.
I know.
And he's great.
I haven't seen enough of him.
Jacob Fatu's great as well. He's the MLW champion.
Is he?
Have you ever seen him?
No.
He's fucking awesome.
Just everyone in that family can wrestle.
He does. Mate, he's like 320 pounds. And he can do like jump to the second rope, to the top rope moonsault. Oh my god. The dude's awesome. And the best thing about him is, he challenged some guy to come through the guardrail at him at an MLW show. And he was like, come through the guardrail. And the guy took one step forward and he went into him like a train. Sent it fucking flying.
What a boy.
The dude is awesome.
I just found it interesting going through that pay-per-view.
Do you know what? He's in, what are they called? Team Contra Squad or something. He's in Contra, though. And also in Contra is Simon Gotch. There you go.
Oh, really?
So him and Simon Gotch are actually in. Well, I don't know if Contra are still together, but they were still together. And yeah, he and Gotch are in the same stable, which is really weird to think. But yeah, there you go. And
there we are.
He raises his hand in victory, and it's back to shouting aimlessly for poor Mojo.
Yeah, we get back to the action here.
In the locker room, Zayn says they're both coming off big losses. Kid for the title, and Zayn to earn a shot at the title. They agree that this is the reset, and they leave to head to the ring. We get an advert, again very dramatic, as it's a Money in the Bank match for the WWE title. The stakes, Adam, the stakes!
I'll just put on my notes, like, we're having a ladder match for the world title. This sounds amazing. Cena wins it, doesn't he?
I think Lesnar wins it.
No, doesn't Cena win it and then Lesnar absolutely fucking obliterates him at SummerSlam?
I can't. Lesnar ends up winning it.
No, he ends up having it afterwards, I think. I think Cena wins the ladder match. And then Lesnar...
I mean, is it surprising?
No, that's what I mean. Like, I was like really hyped for it, and I was like, this is the one Cena wins, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Or maybe Orton wins it. Is it for both titles? Maybe
it's for both.
Orton wins it. Orton wins it and then loses it at Mania. And he hears voices in his head.
He doesn't lose it at Mania. Because it's the two titles, because we're coming up to...
Yeah, but then him and Cena have a terrible ladder match, and they have a terrible Hell in a Cell match. Because it's the... No.
Because it's the two, because the next WrestleMania we have is
but Orton...
Redacted versus Lesnar.
Yeah, but what? Chris Benoit wrestles?
Yeah.
No, but they...
Makes a surprise comeback.
Orton has both titles, so I'm fairly convinced Orton wins it. Adam, here's a message for you to live by. Kilowatt, light a candle, says CJ Parker. Eat local, think global on the other side, as Regal calls him a smelly git and says he'll run him over in his SUV. I love to see it. We are informed that the number one contender, Tyler Breeze, is in the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have two gentlemen here to give you the greatest spectacle in all of world wrestling and entertainment. Hayden English, Simon Gotch, the Vaudevillains.
There's nothing better than seeing a chimp on a bike, is there?
What?
You couldn't get anything better for me than to see the Vaudevillains.
I have no words.
I love it. I've been talking, I mean, we know about my friend Aidan, but Simon Gotch, do you know, he was born on a carnival. His mother's the bearded lady. She's just remarried. He's got a new stepdad who's the rubber man. No, listen to me. Will you listen to me?
William, this looks like one of your home videos from your childhood.
Yes. Will you listen to me? So his mother's the bearded lady. She's just remarried. He's got a new stepdad who's the rubber man, and she's pregnant again. And Simon asked them, what do you want, a boy or a girl? She said, we don't care as long as it fits in the canon.
Eat sake. Oh, my God.
This is wonderful.
I'll encourage him.
I should have termed that phrase long ago. Vaudevillain, that's me, isn't it?
So, this is the official debut of the Vaudevillains, Aidan English and Simon Gotch. Simon Gotch in the ring right now to square off against the team of...
It goes black and white, and Aidan English is met by Simon Gotch on the stage, and they make their way down to the ring with fantastic music and all. Dawkins and Travis Tyler are the opponents. Gotch counters Dawkins beautifully and does a one-handed press-up whilst in a submission. English is in, as is Tyler, and English is in total control with a leg drop and spins to the arm to do some damage. Gotch is in as he manipulates the body, showing really nice work on the arm of Travis Tyler. You can immediately see these two getting over on this show. Gotch hits a right hand to the stomach and lifts Tyler with a rolling Death Valley driver and a senton from the top rope by English for a pin. Beautiful finishing combo as the crowd claps to their music. A very impressive debut, maybe the best debut in the history of the podcast. And this is a really good act to add to the show. Infinitely entertaining, it looks like a proper face term for English here.
Yeah, it's brilliant throughout. I'm going to have to stick some Regal quotes in, because Regal is fucking class in this match. The amount of little, like, stories that he comes out with, like, you know, he can bend 6-inch nails with his teeth, iron bars with, actually, I won't tell you that one, is just like... There's just a lot of banter.
That's with his knob.
There was too much banter for me to just to fit it all in, mate.
To
honestly.
rein it all in.
Exactly. Just to prove I was right, it was Cena who won that ladder match. And he did get beat by Lesnar at SummerSlam for it.
Really?
Yeah, apparently afterwards
like
Orton had to have 11 stitches.
Oh, what, he beats Orton at SummerSlam?
No, after the ladder match, Orton had to receive stitches, and then they had like a fatal 4-way the next pay-per-view.
Oh, how fun.
Oh no.
How fun. What did you think of these two debuting then, Adam?
Just something completely different. They're like, even like with tag teams and that, and just like singles wrestlers, they are completely different characters. And this is what you need. You need a bit of variety in your show.
Yeah, for
sure. You want someone you're going to get excited about. You don't just want your generic wrestler coming out every week.
And it's another tag team.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they need.
Yeah. Something we've been lacking.
Devin, how you doing?
I'm awesome, thank you. So last week you received a much-needed win against Sylvester Lefort. What are your thoughts?
Well, Devin, it's no secret that as of late, things have been going as smooth as a fine-grained leather for Big Cass. But it feels like things could be a little bit better. It feels like something is missing. And it's about time that everybody in NXT starts to sing a different tune. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's
Amore, Adam. Enzo Amore.
Is that what he meant?
Yeah. That's Enzo, mate.
Oh, shit.
That's Enzo.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is back doing some good parenting in some really awful genes.
He's a much better dad than Alberto Del Rio, let's be honest.
Yeah. Number one, he's not on cocaine.
No.
Now, Rob, first off, welcome to NXT.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please tell us, what are your plans to do while you're down here?
Oh, well, I want to see what it's all about. A lot of excitement about NXT, and for a good reason. You know, all the superstars up there on Raw and SmackDown are so good now, and I understand they're coming through here first. So I'm checking out all the talent, and I found who the best guy is. Adrian Neville. Adrian Neville, Rob Van Dam wants to wrestle you. That's what I'm doing here tonight, okay? So, NXT with RVD. Mr. Monday Night is going to be Mr. Thursday Night. That's what I'm doing here.
Great. Thank you so much.
Rob Van Dam.
Bring on this match, mate. Let's fucking have it.
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant.
Kalisto's out for action. After some exciting showings, Heat and Breeze look like it could be a really good blend of styles. The former Samurai del Sol is a true highlight reel. But so is Tyler Breeze. The number one contender is bleeding self-confidence after his last few weeks. The brilliant mouthing of Personified in his music is just the best. I love him.
When the opportunity comes up to shine, he does.
Absolutely.
He makes the most of every minute of his TV time. And you can't say that about a lot of people on this podcast.
Yeah, agreed. Also, I must say, I'd really like to get Kalisto on the pod for a chat. I think that would be a really nice interview.
Do you reckon we'd be able to?
He's doing quite a lot of interviews at the moment.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's it. Email him, Dave.
I'll have to, yeah. I mean, it'd be quite cool to just chat to him. He seems like a really, really nice guy from what I've sort of seen and heard.
Might actually have to pay for StreamYard.
And he's a really good wrestler as well. Can't forget that.
That's it.
Can't forget that. Slow early on to my surprise, but they keep things interesting on commentary by discussing Kalisto's experience. Kalisto shows some amazing moves. He stops by leaning forward, walking on his hands backwards, and into 2 somersaults and a head scissors to clear the ring, before faking a dive to go to commercial. All very good. Slower again after commercial, as Breeze grounds the high flyer, but it keeps the attention well in a match very suited to Styles. Breeze stops Kalisto hitting a comeback, and he does go for a nice corner bulldog before a roll out to the apron by Kalisto and a kick to the head, followed by a springboard as the crowd chants Lucha to get behind the new high-flying sensation. Lovely roll through head kick by Kalisto for a 2. Kalisto avoids a super kick, springboards into a beauty shot for a 3. A really nice match, and it's a great showing for Kalisto, and another stellar performance for the number 1 contender Tyler Breeze. He grabs his phone and leaves, knowing he's been in a battle. And I must say, what I really, really like about the beauty shot at the minute is they're kind of doing it like a bit of an RKO. I swear I mentioned this a couple of months ago, but it's one of those moves. It might not be a traditional finishing move. It doesn't look particularly devastating. However, its big advantage is it can be hit out of nowhere from multiple positions. And I feel like that's really good for if you want to have him win the title. He can just go bang and win it. And then it's like, oh my God, there's so many creative ways you can hit the beauty shot. I feel like it's just a really good move for anyone really. It's a sort of move that always makes matches exciting because they can end at any time. That's what makes Orton so exciting. You can never think, oh, I'll just get on my phone with Orton because he can finish it at any time.
Yeah. It's just one of those. I love protected moves.
Yes.
Well,
you're lucky because here comes Baron Corbin.
Fuck's sake. I'll tell you what as well. Regal talks about the tradition of the lucha mask. Obviously, Kalisto being a traditional luchador, he tells us that it can be a hindrance. When he was wrestling luchadors, he would purposely try and turn the mask.
He would, yeah.
What a bastard.
Now, do you know what the matches are called where it's mask versus mask? Do you know the Spanish name for them?
I'm sure you're about to beautifully tell us.
It's luchas de apuestas.
There we are.
And everyone who wrestles in Mexico has a lucha de apuestas record where mask versus mask is more important than title.
Of course it is.
Family heritage.
There we are.
Yes.
Familia.
So, everyone has a lucha de apuestas record. And there's also like a mask versus hair record, and everyone has them.
I'm so gutted we didn't get a fucking mask v hair match at WrestleMania between Andrade and Rey Mysterio.
Oh, it would have been great.
It would have been probably the match of the night.
It would have been brilliant. Although he's stalled in AEW quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't watch AEW. I keep saying I'm going to.
Yeah, me too. We get an advert for a WWE Studios film, and it's based on motorcycle riders. Bizarrely, it stars Jason Momoa, whatever he's called.
Yeah, you got it right.
And it's a Pride of Gypsies film called Ride to Paloma.
Road to Paloma.
It's Ride to Paloma, I think.
It's Road.
Is it really?
It's Road to Paloma.
Well, anyway, a few years later, and he's Aquaman. WWE Studios to Aquaman. What a bloody glow up that is.
What a rise.
Do you know? Have you ever seen that video at a house show where someone like heckles Roman and shouts, "Roman, I loved you in Aquaman," and everyone starts laughing, and he turns around from the apron and goes, "Trust me, if I was in it, it would have made a lot more money."
He's got that swag about him now. He can just get away with that shit.
It's quite good.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
We get a reunion show for the Legends House, hosted by Jerry Lawler of all people. It looks awful.
I wanted to watch this.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I did. Teddy speaks like that in real life.
You are?
Teddy Hart.
Teddy Hart? Why are you bringing up Teddy Hart?
Because he's in it.
Teddy Hart's not in Legends House.
Yeah, he is.
Do you know who Teddy Hart is?
The one who wears the white jacket. The promoter for WCW. He was like part of the... Am I thinking of someone completely different?
Teddy Hart?
Yeah.
Teddy Hart's like Bret's nephew who's an arsehole who grows drugs and is a pimp.
Who am I thinking of then?
I have no idea.
The one who used to be with Hogan all the time.
Gene Okerlund?
No.
Oh, you're thinking of, oh God, yeah. What's his name? Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart, that's it. Sorry.
No one speaks like this, Daddy!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Jimmy Hart speaks like that then.
Yes. The mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Fucking mouth of the, I don't know, the ridiculously high thing.
The mouth of the man with terrible hair. At least he's still got a mullet.
Sounds like he's permanently sucking helium.
Well, let me tell you something, Daddy. The Dungeon of Doom, Daddy. They're going to come for you. And later on, sucker. He's got the best voice ever. He sounds like Joe Pasquale. Wrestling's Joe Pasquale. If they ever did WWE Network blankety blank, he could be the host, couldn't he?
I could just love to see him and Joe Pasquale like sort of do promos with each other. Give me that, and then Malcolm Bivens is just in the background.
It would be stupendous, as Chris Eubank would say.
It'd be gold, mate.
But yeah, Legends House is a weird show. Just a weird show in general, I feel like. I just feel like it's just an odd show all over the board, and yeah, I don't know why. I never wanted to watch it, but for sure, there's a right old cast of people in it. Thingy's in it as well, isn't he? Tony Atlas.
I think so.
Tony Atlas is the is like the really big African bloke, the really muscular one. He's still really muscular now, and he has like a fetish for women standing on his face.
Okay,
he does literally. It does, honestly. Google it. It's really weird. He's like really.
I'm not going to be googling that. I'll be honest, mate.
No, just Google Tony Atlas. It's really good because they brought Tony Atlas on the road with them. Because he's like really, really, really dedicated. And what they did is they brought Tony Atlas to manage Mark Henry.
Okay.
This was like before the Hall of Pain run, and it really, really got him into shape because Atlas is so dedicated to his physique. And he rubbed off quite well on Henry, and that's how sort of Henry became or got in world champion shape. So credit to Tony Atlas. But whilst he was on the road, he did say to women, "I'll pay you to stand on my face." It was a bit weird. But hey, each their own. Next, it's the NXT Tag Team titles on the line as the Ascension defend against Tyson Kidd and Sami Zayn, a match arranged by Kidd's wife, Natalya. And we also hear that Tyler Breeze has left the building. Boo. Boo. Massive yah chants for the champions as they make their way to the ring, but will the 260-day reign be in jeopardy? Early on, Zayn is trapped in the opposing corner as they get lots of time to chant yah as Victor scores a 2. Kidd starts to look very fed up and he walks away, shouting, "If you want to do the whole match, then you can have it." Zayn hits a crossbody and then goes for a tag, realising his partner's not there. Zayn screams to tag him, but he's ignored as he's squashed by Connor and the fall of man for a 3. Kidd shakes his head on the stage. Another bit of character development here as he comes ever closer to becoming a fully fledged heel. Frustratingly walks away as commentary says they can't understand why he's done this. Thoughts here, Adam, with a short but telling main event going forward?
It's a bit stupid, really, isn't it? It is and it isn't, in the sense that...
Do you not think Tyson Kidd seriously needs a change here? He's crying out to be a heel.
Well, he's pretty much going that way, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, he's never going to be the NXT title. The way to prolong him in the main event is to turn him heel.
Yeah. I feel like the way they've done it at the moment is they've kept Sami, that plucky face.
Yes.
Because he's getting the absolute piss battered about him, and he's just trying. This is what Sami always does. And you can't blame Sami for what happened. And he's just Tyson's just getting frustrated for no reason. Yeah. Heel move. Heel bastard move.
He's just being a bit of a knob, isn't he?
Bit of a dick.
Bit of
a Richard.
Absolutely. Bit of a Richard. Right, next episode then. It's June the 26th, 2014, episode 104. And again, emanating from Full Sail University. Opening the show, it's our new favourites, the Vaudevillains.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have two gentlemen here to give you the greatest spectacle in all of world wrestling and entertainment, standing at a combined height of 12 feet 7 inches. 8 in English, Simon Gotch, the Vaudevillains.
Standing at a combined height of 12 foot 7 inches.
That was fantastic.
It's brilliant.
That was That was just outstanding.
Honestly, I popped so much for that little lie.
I don't think it can also be accurate as well, because I'm pretty sure Gotch is like 5'10", which would then make Aiden English 6'9", and I don't think he is.
I think just because the crowd weren't expecting it as well, so they all like laughed.
It's just one of those weird things.
This is the new favourite act now.
Yeah,
this is the new favourite team. So let's see how many weeks they stay our favourite team.
Yeah.
Next week, for fuck's sake, these guys are going
bastards. This week they're up against T. Perkins and Matt Sugarman. This was manly chants by the crowd, as T. Perkins is the man now known as Elias. That's a wrap. The rolling Death Valley Driver and senton combo is for the win. Lovely bits of offense by Gotch, who looks really impressive. A leg scissors and does push-ups. It's awesome stuff. See, I hate a leg scissors more than most people, but at least he makes it interesting.
Yeah, very true. Renee tells us that Matt Sugarman is known as Big Bastard Sugarman.
Really?
I don't know. I just find it surprising that she said that on the...
I didn't hear that.
She did. 100%, because I had to rewind it.
Are you sure it wasn't Big Batty Man?
No. Big Bastard Sugarman.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was good. It was short, but it was good while it lasted, and they're an entertaining duo.
Yeah, we do have Renee Young, Alex Riley, and Rich Brennan.
I like Rich Brennan.
I do like. He's becoming one of my favourites.
I like Rich Brennan. He's good.
Yeah.
Backstage, Zayn is angry about last week. He says we haven't heard the last of he and Tyson Kidd. Next, Xavier is back for action as Parker appears with a Stop the Big Thor sign. And here's a debut I'm very excited about. Ball! 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 Diddle-diddle-a, diddle-diddle-a, ball! Diddle-diddle-a, diddle-diddle-a, ball! Diddle-diddle-a, diddle-diddle-a, ball! Diddle-diddle-a, diddle-diddle-a, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-na-na-na-na-na. I love this theme song. This theme song fucking rules.
Just to spoil it,
I have been looking forward to this theme song literally since we started this podcast. I love this theme song. The end.
He's been on the pod before.
I know, but it hasn't in this iteration.
No, he has as Bull Dempsey.
Yes, but not with this theme song.
What, not with a theme song and an onus on him?
That's what excites me. I love this theme song. That's it. Bull Dempsey, don't care about.
Alex Riley tells us that NXT has produced Seth Rollins, Biggie Langston, Bray Wyatt, and now Bull Dempsey.
I mean, mate, he's the last of a dying breed. Not my words, but the words of Bull Dempsey and Alex Riley.
I have put in my notes, his music is horrible.
What?
Yeah. I don't like the music.
Right, and end the recording there. This podcast is done. We're going to have a fight. Look, mate, he's the last of a dying breed. Dempsey's rough and ready. He smashes Woods with a headbutt and vicious elbow drops. He locks him up in a chin lock for good measure. Clubbing shots to the chest as he chin locks him again. Xavier fights back, hits a head kick to the apron as Dempsey is very shaken. Crossbody attempt by Woods, but Dempsey swats him out of the sky, hits a huge splash in the corner, and the bulldozer, aka the side landing Falcon Arrow for a 3. Impressive debut by Dempsey, who stares menacingly in celebration.
NXT has let the children run the household for far too long. This industry used to be dominated by men. And as of tonight, you have all witnessed the beginning of an era of devastation. An era of the wrecking ball, of the last of the dying breed. Bull Dempsey.
This man has been in the ring with George the Animal Steel and Jimmy Snuka.
Which is really random.
Yes.
Which is really random.
It's incredibly random.
But it's really cool. Look, mate, all I'll say is, what we have got here is a true last of dying breed.
Are you going to keep saying last of a dying breed?
Look, mate, it has to be said. He's the last of a dying breed, Bull Dempsey, and he's legend. He was trained by Taz. Mate, Hook was trained by Taz. Send Hook. Send Bull Dempsey. It's the same on our podcast. Send Hook. Send Bull Dempsey. Send Hook, AEW. Send Bull Dempsey, NXT Back to the Future podcast. Send Bull Dempsey t-shirts. They'll be coming soon.
Anytime you say Bull, I just think shit in my head every time.
Well, wait until you see his next gimmick. That's all I'll say. But
what do you mean?
Let's get excited.
He gets another gimmick.
It's the last of a dying breed. Summer Rae's in action next. Say no more, mate. Just get excited for next week.
Twice.
Just get excited for
next week. Is he the next Leo Kruger?
He's not the next Leo Kruger, no.
No one is.
No. Summer Rae is in action next. She's accompanied by Charlotte and Sasha. How these three are still coming out together, I actually don't know. But Summer is accompanied by Charlotte and Sasha. Charlotte and Sasha don't seem overly pleased about coming out with her, which is really weird. And here we go. Her opponent is Becky Lynch. Debut klaxon for Rebecca Knox. Rebecca Knox...
massive.
She's basically done it all, mate.
Basically, this is probably biggest debut on the podcast so far.
Outside of maybe Seth Rollins, yeah, for sure. And they're a married couple, so which says it all, doesn't it?
Just imagine the wrestling children they will have.
Nearly as good as Cesaro and Del Rey's. Not quite, though. But what I will say is that, basically, when I say she's done it all, she has done it all. And she's only 34 as well.
She could have at least another 10 years left in her career.
Yeah, she's only 34, which is quite extraordinary. She's nearly 35, though. Her birthday's on the 30th of Jan. But yeah, born in Limerick, Ireland, she studied at the Dublin Institute of Technology, where she received a BA. She's married to Seth Rollins. They got married last year, 2021, and they have one child together, which is rather lovely. She was trained at the NWA UK Hammerlock School by Paul Tracy and Finn Balor. There you go. She began training as a professional wrestler in 2002, initially working in Ireland and occasionally teaming with her brother using the ring name Rebecca Knox. She soon began wrestling across Europe and North America on the independent circuit for various promotions. Notably competed in Elite Canadian Championship Wrestling and became the inaugural Supergirls champion in 2005. In 2006, Quinn suffered a severe head injury during a match which kept her away from wrestling for several years, only returning in 2012 when signing a development deal with WWE. So she did spend 7 years retired.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Which I didn't think you would know, but it's quite a strange thing. She literally, as far as she was, she never wrestled. She, bizarrely, in Shimmer, she managed Paige.
She managed Paige?
She managed Paige. She never wrestled. She did manage Paige, though.
That's mad.
Weird, isn't it? She literally was like, no, I'm done. Apparently she got a really bad concussion, fucked her up, and she was like, don't want to do it. And it's only when WWE contacted her out of the blue and were like, we'd really want to sign you, is she came out of retirement. So she could be retired right now, doing something completely different. Which is really, really, really weird to think. But yeah. Big star. Impact and legacy. She is certainly one of the biggest stars in WWE history, and her legacy is cemented. Stephanie McMahon, quote, she's one of the most popular and recognisable wrestlers of her generation. Lynch was the inaugural SmackDown Women's Champion, and has the longest reign as Raw Women's Champion, holding the belt for nearly 400 days at 398. At WrestleMania 35, Lynch, along with Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, became the first women to have headlined WWE's flagship annual event, whilst Lynch was the first to have won a WrestleMania main event match as a female. Lynch is the first WWE wrestler to have appeared on the cover of ESPN the magazine, as well as the first ever female wrestler to be featured on the cover of a WWE 2K video game. She holds the record for most main event matches at pay-per-view singles events in a year for a female wrestler. That same year, in 2019, she also became the first woman to have been named Pro Wrestling Illustrated's most popular wrestler of the year. Lynch was also the first and only female performer in WWE history to have led the company in merchandise sales. Her last woman standing match against Charlotte Flair at WWE Evolution was ranked number 1 by WWE on the top 25 matches of 2018. Lynch's Raw Women's Championship match against Sasha Banks at Hell in a Cell the next year was ranked as number 2 in the same list a year later. I cannot think of a more iconic moment to define the fight in another moment of photography for the memory That moment almost summarises the change that was taking place in wrestling and how you took over everything in this business, and it was almost thought that the man was born there. CM Punk on Lynch's bloodied face moment. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T compared Lynch's rise to The Rock's, adding Becky is at the point where she and everyone in the locker room knows how good she is. Wrestler Toni Storm cited Lynch as her biggest inspiration, saying that she's taken the women's division to an entirely different level. In 2019, Jim Ross called Becky Lynch the most over talent in WWE. As of April 2020, she was the 6th highest paid WWE wrestler and the highest paid woman according to Forbes, with a salary of over $3 million a year. It's true, Adam. This is the debut of the man.
Well, she's not the man yet.
Well, it must be noted, everyone's got something to say until the man comes around. And the first thing the man would probably say here when she comes around is, this is absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah, WWE...
Go on, I'll let you have your moment.
Have gone...
This is our Gunter moment. Go on.
This is literally it.
Go on. You tell us what's going on here. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to have a break.
You've been speaking for a long time, so... In traditional WWE form, they thought, do you know this ginger Irish lass? Do you know what? She must be able to, do river dance or something like that. We'll just get her to do that.
It's Irish dancing.
You fucking know what I mean. Dress her in green. Fucking make her hair as ginger, well, as ginger as possible, even though it's ginger anyway. And we'll get her to pretend to fucking jig at the top of the ramp when she can't. It's fucking mad.
It's pretty horrible, isn't it, this?
Honestly, I just felt for her. And she's coming down. The thing is, at this point, the crowd know who she is.
Yeah.
Already. So I imagine she's been doing the coconut loop.
So proud to hear you saying the words coconut loop.
You love it, don't you? But people knew her. Obviously, she debuted on TV.
Well, there was that sign about 3 months ago in the crowd. We want Becky Lynch.
Yeah, there was.
That sign's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And now they've got her in this iteration.
And now they've got her.
See what you've done.
We've given you what you want.
Now shut the fuck up. The classic WWE. She is out to horrible Irish dancing music, doing a really lame Irish dancing gimmick. However, she's over.
Yeah, massively over. People know who she is.
Regardless of a terrible gimmick, she's over. Summer dances in return, but then Becky does some terrible dancing, as she has her head taken off with a clothesline. Becky was apparently taught to dance by Colin Farrell's brother back in Ireland.
Because they all know each other as well.
Colin Farrell's brother? Why Colin Farrell?
Why couldn't he have said the bloke from Riverdance?
Michael Flatley.
That's it.
In the words of Chandler Bing, his legs flail as if independent from his body.
For some reason, I thought you were going to do a... Who's that knowing me, knowing you?
Alan Partridge?
Yeah, I thought you were going to do some sort of Alan Partridge.
No. I don't only watch Alan Partridge, you know.
Okay.
Huge spin kick, but it's only a 2 for the First Lady of NXT. Super close roll up for a 2 by Becky after Summer's distracted by the BFFs outside, before a really nice exploder suplex by Becky for a 3 count, as they call her debut awesome on commentary. Not the word I think would have sprang to mind for me.
It was... as a way of getting her in front of TV. They got her in front of TV, and that's all they needed to do.
And it's also really important, again, to note that this is the lamest gimmick in the world.
Yeah.
And before this, she was a Rosebud, and she's gone on to be not only a pioneer for women's wrestling, but for wrestling in general.
Yeah.
So, again, you're looking at people like Alexa and like Becky, who are being given shit, or who are shit. And actually, you look at what they've gone to do. Don't tell me there's people in NXT 2.0 now who are dead in the water with shit gimmicks, because they are... No one in NXT 2.0 has a gimmick worse than this.
Which is the worst gimmick?
The Irish dancing one.
It's worse than the Pixie cheerleader.
The Irish dancing one is an all-time bottom 5 shit gimmick. This is awful. awful, putting it nicely. Like, this has lived in my mind rent-free, and watching it again has given me horrific PTSD.
I've seen little clips of this here and there with like the Becky Lynch documentaries when she was the man.
Yeah.
So obviously they always come back to
I thought
this.
you'd be more surprised, but yeah, actually, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like, I was surprised. I was like, oh my God, this is the match. And I was like, oh, I've seen little clips here and there of this.
Aww.
So hopefully she hits the ground dancing.
Well, yeah.
Running. Skipping, whatever she wants to do.
What I will say is Irish dancing Becky Lynch isn't too long in the tooth. She disappears quite quickly.
Oh, does she go to the next one?
She disappears quite quickly. Big Cass is out for action next, spelling out SAWFT. Sort. As Alex asks Rich how he's doing. He's facing Sawyer Fulton, who has, and I don't wish to overstate this after what we've just seen, but he does have one of the worst looks I've ever seen.
He would probably have one of the worst looks we have ever seen on this podcast, had it not been for the fact that Becky Lynch was also on this taping.
This is up there in terms of how bad he looks. He looks awful.
Yeah.
Complete with really terrible M&M bleach blonde hair.
Yeah.
He looks like he's out of Naruto. Those fucking trousers are awful.
Just wrestling in trousers, why?
I know.
Flexibility.
Especially when you're 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Because Sawyer is close to 7 foot tall. He's essentially the same size as Big Cass.
But Big Cass is taller.
No, they're about the same size.
I was going to do a whole you can't teach that thing, but you've just...
Okay. Go for it.
No, you've ruined a moment.
Cut it out if you really want to.
No, it's fine.
Well, what I will say, Adam, is that Cass is on the back foot to start. Fulton takes control and traps Cass in the corner. Cass is done playing quickly, though, as he levels the ever-living fuck out of Fulton with one of the biggest of biggest big boots. An Empire Elbow and a 3. That is one of the all-time great big boots.
I quite like a big boot from Cass. And it's strange for me to say that because all the big boots I'd previously seen were from Hogan. And I didn't like any of them. But Cass knows how to do a big... Actually, Undertaker does a good big boot as well.
He does indeed.
He does.
And normally...
Sorry, I apologise to you, Dave, because I know you'll have been insulted by that.
Thank you. And normally, as well, you'll also find with Undertaker is that when he does the big boot, it's also generally when he does the running DDT, or used to do the running DDT. He then replaced it with Snake Eyes as he got older.
Fair enough.
Snake Eyes, one of the most underrated wrestling moves of all time, in my opinion. Do you know what Snake Eyes is?
Is that where he throws him sort of like head first into the corner?
Yes, it is.
There we go.
Onto the top rope, yes.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes, great move. That's
all I'll say. Like a reverse Stinger almost.
No, it kind of just disorients
or like a buckle bomb.
It's not really like a buckle bomb, but yeah.
But you get like the same sort of idea.
But that's in Undertaker's 5 moves of doom. Snake Eyes followed by Big Boot. Classic. Now, Adam, there's some French singing, which brings out Sylvester Laforde and Marcus Louis wearing unbelievable shirts, it must be said.
Yeah.
They climb the apron to attack, but there's music, and it's Enzo Amore. The crowd goes nuts as we get a promo from Enzo that you can stick in here. Enzo has definitely got this promo stuff sorted, and it's to the moon for this tag team. Whilst the Fighting Legionnaires are SAWFT, there's only one word to describe these two, Adam. OVER. Over.
Ah, okay. They are massively. It's probably one of the biggest pops we've seen on NXT for a return as well.
Yeah,
because usually when people are gone, that's like it.
And as
people
well,
don't get missed too much on this podcast.
These two started off as faces, as heels, and they are now massive faces. And automatically, on this show, you've now got, out of nowhere, 2 really big face teams. The Vaudevillains are going to get massively over as faces.
You need face teams, though, because you've got heel bastards who have got the titles.
Of course you do, yeah.
You need someone to fight them.
Of course you do.
Someone you can get the crowd...
And any of these would be good to beat the Ascension when the time comes. Advert for Money in the Bank, where we will crown a new WWE champion. Spoilers, Cena wins, lol. Tyler Breeze is on commentary for the main event. Here's Neville, who's on, no doubt being scouted by the number 1 contender, Tyler Breeze. Out next is Mr. Monday Night, the whole fucking show, and the longest reigning champion in any ECW division. It's Rob Van Dam. This should be fucking wild.
This was fantastic.
Oh, it was really good.
It was so good.
It was really
good.
Good.
I said at the start of the podcast, I said, we'll get to the end.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I didn't take notes on this one.
You just watched it?
I just wanted to watch it.
That's okay.
But I'm gutted because
that's okay.
I had taken notes, I would have done the counter for the amount of times that Tyler Breeze tells us that he's the number one contender.
Well, you can't forget.
It's impossible. He says it at least, I want to say 30 times, and it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm really not.
Do you know how old Van Damme was in this match? Bear in mind the kind of stuff he's doing and his style anyway.
I'm going to guess 45.
He's 44 in this match.
Okay, what a guess that is.
He's 44. He's 51 now. He's still wrestling.
Yeah.
In the same style that he was wrestling before, which is a bit scary, but that's Van Damme all over for
Probably
you.
not as clean, I imagine.
He's not lost as much of a step as you think he had, considering his style. But I mean, in the stuff he does in this match is fucking wild, considering he's 44.
I'd say the stand, like from what I'd seen in ECW, like the standard had, like it's dropped a little, but not too much. It's just like the slickness and the crispness and like the explosiveness.
In WWE, he was still exactly the same as he was in ECW. There's no difference. This was like his big comeback, and then but it's. I mean, for what it is, it's.
Having a guy like him and Neville face off against each other, it's dream match stuff for NXT.
But also, Neville can sell for him and can do a similar styled offense, and automatically that will make things a lot better.
Yeah.
So they shake hands as Rob Van Dam has his accomplishments ran down, including being a 6-time Intercontinental Champion and a former WWE Champion. Early on, they grapple for control as the crowd shows appreciation for both men. The pace quickens as they miss each other, but Van Dam comes out on top after a back kick and a pose. Van Dam tries to catch Neville off the ropes, but gets a super kick instead. Neville hits a moonsault to the outside from the second rope on Van Dam to huge NXT chants. Commercial, and it's for Total Divas, and they say the Divas are about to be exposed. Well, one is. Back, front face lock by Neville, grounding the dangerous Van Dam. Van Dam places Neville crotched onto the top rope and cat-like climbs up to the top rope and delivers a kick to the head as Neville falls into the ring. Is there anything better than Rob Van Dam climbing to the top rope, Adam?
He doesn't exactly climb up. Almost like jumps up, like...
It's literally like a cat.
I've said, mate, he's the smoothest motherfucker I've ever seen try and get on the top rope.
There's
literally no one else like him.
He can jump so high.
Neville does it a little bit in this, and you can see like they mention that Neville is, he was inspired by Van Dam in some of his style, and you can see little bits of it here and there.
Yeah,
that jump onto the top rope is probably one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff from Neville in this match, to be honest. Although Van Dam definitely does steal all of his thunder. Which actually I thought Van Dam would be more giving, or Neville would get
there
a
was
bit
a
more.
little lull and you just needed to perk up the crowd,
Van Dam would do it.
Thumbs up, mate.
Yeah.
The thumb thing. Rob Van Dam.
Now what I will say, I don't know if you've ever seen it, it's one of my favourite documentaries in general. I'm a big documentaries fan in general, not just wrestling documentaries. But it's a documentary called The Rise and Fall of ECW, which is an official WWE documentary. And on it is Paul Heyman, of course. And Heyman talks about having someone like Van Dam. And he was like, Rob Van Dam, he was our John Cena, he was our Hulk Hogan, and the people, they loved Rob Van Dam. And the problem is, with Van Dam, you could never have him like a super heated storyline because, he was so cool. People didn't want to see Van Dam get in a fight, and they didn't want to see him cut big dramatic promos. They wanted to turn up, and they wanted to see Rob Van Dam point his fingers, and they wanted to talk about smoking weed, and they wanted to see him wrestle. So that's all I did. And I was like... And it worked.
I'll tell you what, Paul Heyman's a fucking genius, isn't he?
It's like, these people wanted to come, they wanted to cheer Van Dam and just see him smoke weed and point his fingers, and that was the only thing. And it was like, it's absolutely true. No one wants to see Van Dam be like really passionate. People just want to make weed jokes, see him do awesome shit, and point his fingers. That's it.
I'd probably argue with Sabu, because he spent most of his career doing that.
Of course. And the great thing about Van Dam is he delivers on all of those fronts. Austin 316 says, I just kicked your ass. Well, guess what? RVD 420 says, I just smoked your ass. That was a sign in every single ECW show. Every single show, someone would have that sign.
What, RVD 420?
RVD 420. Because, mate, Austin 316, well, RVD definitely loves 420. So, it's all good. Van Dam runs into the corner, following Neville and hitting him with a spinning head kick, again as Neville slumps. Another head kick as Neville falls to the mat, and Van Dam looks very comfortable getting a 2. They exchange pins and a clothesline by RVD, Tree of Woe and a spinning kick as Neville can't get started. Kicks by Neville, who fires up with a low drop kick. Second rope missile drop kick for a 2 by Neville. Springboard missed by Neville, who rolls through for an enziguri and a standing moonsault. This is awesome chance start up. Van Dam splats Neville and misses a beauty of a split-legged moonsault as they deliver forearms back and forth before trading kicks. Neville hits the ropes, but RVD throws Neville in the air, kicks him in the face on the way down. He ascends the ropes, tries a 5-star, but misses as Neville escapes. Spinning DDT by Neville as RVD gets spiked and sells it amazingly, may I add. And Neville climbs the ropes for a red arrow and a 3. Great win for the champion, and Van Dam was awesome here, very giving. Amazing main event, says Rich. Who can beat Neville, he says.
Well, a certain man stands on the announcer's desk and sort of announces that it's me. It's going to be me.
I absolutely love Tyler Breeze. RVD isn't happy after the bell, and he climbs to his feet for a handshake, raising the hand of Neville. Superb, and this is the exact reason why these visits from main roster men are fantastic. Van Dam was so giving in an unbelievable match, and Neville gets a big rub. Everybody wins.
Yeah, it's a great match. Some of the selling from Neville was unbelievable in this. Like, he made his body pretty much like lifeless.
And Van Dam's DDT sell was amazing. That DDT sell, everybody copied. Neville started to copy it. Neville started to copy it. Rollins started to copy it. Zayn started to copy it. That like spike DDT sell, and that's the sort of thing like Van Dam. His style is so unique. He was like such an innovator for so long, and I actually think like give the bloke credit. The guy's fucking awesome, and it doesn't get enough credit in my opinion.
Nah, he's brilliant. He didn't deserve to lose the title. I know he obviously had his issues and that, but it's just a shame he didn't have a longer run. Or have multiple runs. Yeah,
it would have been really, really good. Especially because they were, so happy to put the title on Hardy, who was clearly fucked out of his brain.
Yeah, there's that as well.
But, we go off the air with Neville and Breeze staring each other down. So who's going to be your star of the show then, Adam? It's a tough one this week. I feel like there's been a lot of good stuff. There's been a couple of good debuts. There's been like a really good main event match.
I know who you're going to say. The last of
I'm not going to say Bull.
No, you're not.
No. He's the last of a dying breed.
Yeah, that's it. Last of a dying breed.
And this dying breed doesn't get star of the week from Dave.
No, not this week anyway. He'll probably have 1 week.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe. What I will say with Bull, he does have one of the worst no DQ matches I've ever seen.
Oh, don't spoil it. Right, I'm going to go Becky Lynch, because it's probably one of the most important debuts we're ever going to have.
Yeah, but look at it. You can't give it to Becky.
No, I can.
I'm going to give it to Van Dam. Only because Van Dam, I think, does such a great job in getting over Neville, selling for Neville, and just he takes a loss as well, which I think is really important.
I'll change my mind. I'm going Tyler Breeze.
Okay.
Great match with Kalisto.
True.
And also, he was brilliant on commentary. Even though we didn't really talk about it, it's just because the whole of commentary was like Renee asking him questions and him being like, but what about me? Like,
and it's also more important, Adam, to say that he is also gorgeous.
Yes. I loved some of the panning shots they had. But you know, like the pan behind the announcer's desk?
Yeah.
And you could see like the selfie camera on. And he's just like taking selfies. I think she asked him about a selfie, which is like, I'm just going to go through my selfies. I'm deleting this one of me and you because it's not, with you in it, it's not gorgeous. And it's like, honestly, this man sounds so full of himself. It's fantastic.
An absolute hero of our time. So you can find us on social media. We're on all the social medias. Facebook.com/NXTBTTF. Twitter.com/NXTBTTF. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok. You can find it. We need to upload some more stuff to all these things, don't we, really? But what I will say is, if you're a fan of stuff and things and wrestling and silliness, or me and Adam in general. Or if you're a fan of cars, maybe you can tweet Adam on his own account, Main Event Adam, because he definitely needs some advice.
Let me know what I should buy next, even though I've arranged to go and see the car before this recording has come out.
Hashtag Team Dasher Duster. Let's go.
Fuck off, mate.
But if you would like to find us, go on our Twitter, twitter.com/NXTBTTF or at NXTBTTF. Our link tree has all our links to all our wonderful pages we post regularly. So if you ever need us, tweet us or Facebook us, anything like that. Or if you want to tell us what you think of the podcast or send us a little note, please feel free to. We'd love to hear any sort of feedback. If you can leave us a review, that would be great. I think iTunes accepts them, so we'll happily accept a review. Let us know what you think. You can join us next week for Big Cass in action. Neville and Breeze ramps up. Becky Lynch is back for tag team action. Bull Dempsey begins an era of devastation, by being the last of a dying breed, of course. We hear from Tyson Kidd after this week's strange actions, we shall say. Zayn faces Justin Gabriel, for God's sake. The Vaudevillains want some gold, and Sin Cara's in action. But for now, from me, Dave.
And me, Adam.
We better get out of here, Adam, because it's 10 PM on a Sunday.
Bye.